My parents used to keep stacks of cats. With I think from a dozen to 18 cats at one point. Ridiculous. Lived down by the river and we had a huge house and huge gardens. There was plenty of space for them to run around and come and go as they please. But still, when they all were all in the house, nightmare. Now, contrary to popular belief, but cats are smart to a certain degree, and they can learn tricks and tasks from watching humans. And we had one cat in particular and his brother. Jeez, there's a fly in here. And I've got a can of aerosol. Look, I'll get back to the story. Unless that fucker pisses me off, we're going to have a bit of a flamethrower in the middle of this story. So, yeah, cats have the ability to observe the human owners and watch your routines and the like. And we had a really smart cat called George, black and white. And his brother we called Mottle because of the colouring. But George was the one. He was like he was quiet, but he's a thinker. And basically he learned how to open doors and windows. So the type of windows we had back there was single glazed. It's a long time ago, 70s and 80s. Single pane of glass, has a little catch in the middle of the window and a rail at the bottom with holes in that you'd open it up onto a peg to set the opening. And the cat had observed that you could stretch up and get a paw and knock that. It wasn't too hard. A lot of them were pretty easy. And then get your paw into there and catch until it came up. And then it was just a simple case of pawing the window. And we'd get up in the morning and the kitchen windows open up over the sink. And of course, it doesn't take Scooby-Doo long to work out that it's the cat that's done it. And we can see him doing it. He's doing it right in front of us. Oh, smart little bastard, aren't you? You've learned how to open the windows. So we're taking measures and putting little screws to stop them flicking the rail up. So George and Mottle and the others learn another trick, and that's your standard handle on the door. That they learned to jump up and catch the handle, and it would ping open just by a crack, and they can get the paws under the door and they sat and work it, and they're through. So you couldn't cordon anything off and section them out into different rooms. So just open the doors. Not every door, certain doors are more loose than others, like the one from the kitchen to the front room was so regularly used, the handle was a lot slacker than the others, and same with going through into the back hallway and stairs. Regularly used handles were easier for the cats, same with the windows. Any of the other windows weren't so easy to open. They picked on the ones that were used regularly by us. Mum would always be at the kitchen, have the window open. There you go. So we remedied the windows and stopped getting a gale in through the middle of the night because they've opened the window. And my dad had the bright idea to sort the handles out of the doors by reversing the mechanism. So you had to lift the handle up and go through. And pulling it down had zero, solid. It just wouldn't budge. So that buggered the cats up. Everybody in the house, the whole family knew that the handles went up. So you just walked up the door, just quick flick, push the door, clink, and you're through. You didn't have to do a big show of it. Just clink. The cats are scuppered. They're just hanging off the handle. They ain't going to budge. Of course, we have visitors in the house, and we fail to tell them that we've turned the handles upside down and have to go through the story of the cats again, verbatim. And you get friends round and they're yanking on the door. Get the door open. And you walk up and you just go. You know, it was quite comical watching people rive the doors to bits. What the fuck's happened to your door? You know, they're trying to pull the handle out and not having it. You know, and of course, from friends fall for that once, and that's the end of it, you know. But then it comes to my brother-in-law, Hugh. Well, that's a different kettle of fish. Something else, that boy. He's a character. And back in them days, before he'd married me, I mean, his sister got married, Hugh would go out with his mates down to Durham and get slaughtered on the weekend down the pubs and have a nice time. And my house down by the river was practically halfway from the town up to his house up on the estate in Newton Hall, his parents' house. So you know what's going. The inevitable happens. He'd turn up at my house after the pubs has turned out. I'm probably ready to go to bed. I haven't been drinking. You know, I've probably been watching the telly. And he turns up slaughtered. Can I have a breakfast, mate? You know, that's, yeah, come on in, mate. You want a cup of tea? There's the bathroom. You know, yourself sorted. Put him up for the night. You know, he'd be right as rain. But he'd get hellish drunk. And he was known for sleepwalking as well. That's a few stories about that my sister told me. They're really funny. I'll have to verify them. I'll come back with that of what happened on their honeymoon. And just make sure that story she told me is absolutely genuine about his sleepwalking. So, back to us in the house, and Hugh's drunk, and I get him upstairs in the spare bedroom. And he's been in our house many times because he's dated my sister. He's stayed over there many times. He knows about the sodden handles and the cats and everything, but he's drunk. So I'm only in the room next door, my room, and everything's quiet. It's the middle of the night. I don't know what the hell the time was. Let's just say it's 2 a.m. or something stupid like that. You know, pick your time and stick to it. He gets up for a wee. Now, there's another one of my dad's stupid things when he designed that house. He didn't put any upstairs toilets into it. Just down, he had to walk from, Hugh was in the furthest room away, round the hall downstairs, through the front room, through the kitchen, down to the toilet. It's like fucking London Marathon to get there, you know. And if anything, obstacles in the way when you're busting for a piss and you're half cut, it just makes it worse. But he never made it because of the door handle. And I was woken at whatever time that was in the morning by the Hugh, who's a big lad. He's up towards 6 foot. You know, riving at the door that just, the handle's not going down. He's drunk, can't remember about the doors. He just wants to get to that toilet real bad, and he's like a jackhammer on the door, trying to get it open in the panic. And I wake up to this horrendous noise, and I quickly realise what's happening. You know, it's not hard to work out, and I quickly got my pyjamas on and that, and I'm straight to the door. On the other side of the door from him, writhing away, trying to get out. And I'm like that, you know. Not going to give him any assistance. No. And all of a sudden it stops. All the ripping and tearing at the door to get out stops. He's grunting. He's out of breath. And then he comes face to face with the wardrobe, which is right next to the door as you walk in. Literally. Double doored, old ornate wardrobe we've had for years. So he finds the door nearest to him, and there's a tiny little key, and he clicks that, steps inside. It's just rail with your shirts and stuff on, nothing on the floor. The other door's locked. He gets inside and shuts the door behind him somehow, and proceeds to have a wee at the back of the wardrobe. And at this point, because I heard him sneaking at the wardrobe and I waited till he got himself set up, I lifted the door handle and snuck into the room, got my hand round the wall and clicked the light on. He's inside the dark at the wardrobe. I fingered the door, just a little bit shut, and clicked the key. Locked him in the wardrobe. You can hear that water on wood sound. He's having the best piss of his life. Drunk as a skunk pissing in our wardrobe. And I fucking spook him out in the loudest dad-like voice. You! What do you think you're doing? From inside, you can hear this, huh? Eh? What? And in the panic, he spins round. Remember, he's a big, tall lad. And he spins round in the panic. He's been caught. And his weight shifts the wardrobe as he elbows the upright bar between the two doors. I'm like, oh shit! I'm like, there, straight away. He's leaning against this fucking bar, pissed. Probably still got his cock in his hand, covered in his own piss. It's leaking out from out the door and everything. And I'm like, fucking lean back over, fucking hell. Boom. Get him up. Back. Click the fucking door. And out he steps. Yeah. You might as well have fish and fucking all sorts coming out with it. There's piss everywhere. He's covered in it. The wardrobe's covered in it. The carpet's covered in it. I'm fucking pagged because he nearly went over in the wardrobe. And the whole fiasco. And I look up at him. After all of this. And he just looks me straight in the face and walks out the room without a word. And starts walking down the stairs. It's like a double-way stair like that, and not a fucking word. So I followed him, I got to the top of the stairs. You going for a piss? He says, well, didn't forget the fucking mop and bucket on the way back, you fucker. He did. Oh my god. It took ages to clean it back. Well, we mopped down the best of it and got off to bed. And the fucking rest of it to clean up the fountain day. Well, I didn't. You can do that. Fuck, it's not mine. You did that. I'm thinking now I should have just let that wardrobe go over. And he would have been stuck in the wardrobe with the doors on the underside, unable to get out. It would have taken 2 men to prop it back up job, and there was only me and him in the house. My parents were away. I would have had to get a saw out and a crowbar to cut him out the back of the wardrobe. That would have been even funnier if that had happened. For a time machine, eh? Over you go, fucker. See you in the morning. 6 hours later. You okay in there? Fucking hell. Yeah. That was funny as fuck, that. Couldn't get out the room, so pissed in the wardrobe in desperation. Jesus, the things that's happened in my life. I'll have to find out about his honeymoon holiday and what happened in that hotel lobby somewhere during the week whilst they were away. But they'd gone to breakfast the following morning, and my sister was requested to see the hotel manager, apparently. So I'm going to go and corroborate the story, and I'll come back to you with that one, because if I remember it rightly, it is absolutely hilarious. It's definitely worth a retell, that one. Okay, well, that's my brother-in-law pissing in wardrobes. Catch you in a bit.